Hello everyone. How are things? It's me, AD, in case you didn't notice. I washed my hair for you all today. Thank you so much for coming. Our first event of 2026. And obviously every other event we did every other year has all thanks and down to you all. It would just be us really, we're looking at you. So thank you very much for coming, showing interest, booking in, spreading the word and all that. We really appreciate it, and we're hoping that this is going to be an educational one and an exciting one, and it will hopefully help you to stay motivated. Hiya. You wore your hair like me? Hopefully it'll get you to stay motivated, on track and everything for the year. We'll plan it out today, and obviously if you have any questions, just let us know. I'm always speaking, so I said I would just introduce and be very quiet today then after that. But thank you all for coming and enjoy the evening, and if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you. Keelan Desmond.
Thank you very much. Right. Mic on, and my check 1, 2, locked in. Okay, so I'm going to touch on something here called self-compassion, and being fully transparent. When we first started speaking about the topics that we were going to be discussing today, and self-compassion came up, I was like, no, not for me. And I was thinking to myself, why would I not want to do it? And it's probably because I am not very self-compassionate myself. I wouldn't be kind of speaking to my, self-praise, never really a thing, stuff like that. So it's only when you kind of start thinking about these things a bit deeper, you start to realize, are you actually self-compassionate? So I'm going to talk about self-compassion. So it's treating yourself with kindness, understanding, and acceptance. So kind of ask yourselves, do you treat yourself with kindness? Are you quite understanding to yourself? And do you accept things that happen in your life? I probably don't. So that's kind of why I want to talk about it. And because it's goal setting, it's one of my goals this year, just to be a bit more self-compassionate. And, even give yourself a pat on the back. Some things like that. So a big thing around kind of self-compassion that I've been kind of, basically in the last week since I found out we're doing this talk, kind of looking up about I'm not doing Toastmasters. So kind of a simple way I'd always kind of refer back to is what advice would you give to a friend? So if you made a mistake doing anything, it could be in work, could be just even around the house, and you'd kind of berate yourself and you'd kind of be giving yourself a hard time. But if a friend did that mistake, you'd probably be saying to them, it's all right, relax, don't worry about it. But do you actually do those things to yourself? No, yes, maybe. No, probably not. So that's not great either. That's probably not a good thing, the way we speak to ourselves. So I think just kind of always bringing it back to that simple question, what would I say to a friend in this situation? Obviously, this is all easier said than done. This isn't something that's just okay, no bother, I'm sorted. It's not that easy. And how do we speak to ourselves? That's exactly what I just spoke about there. Another thing as well with the whole self-compassion is comparing to others. I know personally, I know I don't really do it as much now, but I would have compared myself to others quite a bit. I know athletically, I would compare myself to other people's times. Numerous times I go for a run, it might be a fantastic race, the time might be great, but it's still not there, or it's not here, it's not there. It's still never really the proper thing. But it's in a way, but then it's it was still really good. It might have been better than my previous time, but it's still not there. And that's bringing it back to the very start. It's having no self-compassion. It's not there's no tap in the back. That was actually good. So that's something I'd never really give myself. I know Aidan, you'd know that. I'd never really be saying that was actually decent. That rarely comes out of my mouth. So I think we should always be kind of just praising ourselves a bit more, and especially when we set ourselves these goals now. I think it's just kind of being kind to ourselves if something doesn't go right along the way, because not everything will go right along the way. So a quote that I just had and that I thought was very good on self-compassion. Self-compassion is about opening up space for change. It's this dichotomy of being able to accept your situation, meet yourself with kindness, and then create space for learning from the situation without harsh criticism. So I think that's a very, very good quote on self-compassion. That's a good one just to remember, because I will be referring back to that. That's kind of the self-compassion bit sorted, because that's all I have time for in the week. But one thing that I am really passionate about is discipline over motivation. This does lead in to goals hugely. So again, motivation is a feeling, and feelings can and feelings will change. So motivation is the fuel to the fire, but it will not keep the fire burning, okay? We all would have started out training in base, we were motivated to get going. Great, unreal. But then that motivation does dip. Like with everything we do in life, motivation is never sky high. What keeps you in the gym, what keeps you training, what keeps you progressing is your discipline. That is number one. Discipline is a skill and it's not a trait. Nobody's born disciplined. Nobody comes out and they're like ready to go. Like it's you just comes. You know what I meant, like. But yeah, it's a skill. You have to practice it. You have to practice it. So I'm going to go, there's a couple of bits on the next slide that are just simple things that just get you going in more of a disciplined manner. Another thing, I think, when you say the word discipline, I know in my head, it's always like, you envisage somebody like they're pointing at you, just be disciplined. It's kind of like a army general kind of thing. It's not a punishment. Like you owe it yourself to be disciplined and actually to show up. That could be for like younger generations coming through to set a good example. I just think you owe it yourself just to be disciplined, to show up. And it's not a punishment. There's no negative consequences with being disciplined. It's not like there's something bad going to happen. So discipline builds self-trust. Like if you string together some great weeks in the gym, you can be like, yeah, I can actually show up and I can do this. I can start progressing. I've gotten stronger. I've lost some body weight. Like these things will happen because of your discipline, not because of your motivation. So let's have one more slide. So again, it's kind of starting small. I know Nicole will kind of touch on some of these bits as well. So again, like discipline, it doesn't have to be anything extreme either. So like with your goals that you're going to set now shortly, it doesn't have to be something crazy. Your goal could be making the bed every morning, which you should do anyway, but if you don't, that should be a goal, okay? But that's you being disciplined, waking up every morning, shaking the bed. Aileen does it very well, but like, whoever wakes up first, we have a good routine of it, But like, it's small, yeah, it's small things like that, like it's just discipline. If you're training in the morning, have your clothes out, ready to go. That's being disciplined. So again, that's the whole thing. It's not like somebody, you have to walk 30,000 steps today, and it doesn't have to be extreme. You get your clothes out the night before. That's you being disciplined to go training. Planning meals, simple. Something that is so important. It can save you so much heartache with like, worrying about meals, running home from work. Just being prepared, being disciplined. I spoke about a small bit before there, just about things not being perfect. Nothing will be perfect. Whatever goals you have down here, they could be 3 month, 6 month, 12-month goals. The road to that will not be perfect. Perfection does not exist. I know, Ray, you're an Oasis fan. Noel Gallagher, little by little, true perfection has to be imperfect. So again, no such thing as perfection, okay? It doesn't exist, so don't expect that whatever weight loss journey you might go on is going to be perfect. Your weight is never going to be like that. If that is a goal, there will be fluctuations, but look at the general trend, it's going down, okay? So if you hit a roadblock, jump over and keep going. And again, most importantly, action. So again, back to the goals that you are going to set. If you do not action those kind of actionable steps, there's no point in doing it, okay? Without action, your goals remain dreams. So get the work done, start progressing, and then you'll get your goals, you'll be happy out. There we go. That's me. Very good.
Thank you. Gurmila Mongod? Yeah. Yeah. He enjoyed that one. Fab. Perfect, guys. So before we get into this, I want everyone to just stand up. We're going to go 10 bodyweight squats just to shake out the body. We'll go for 10. I know. We go for 9. Go for 10. Go for 9. Go for 8. Go for 7. Go for 6. Go for 5. Go for 4. Go for 3. Go for 2. Go for one. Everyone sit back down. Thank you. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a bit of breath work before going into the next part, because I think that's really important that we stay focused and be present to what we are. We came in here to hopefully set some goals, which Emma will go through in a second. So what I want you to do is, everyone close your eyes. I want you to put your hand on your belly and one hand at the top of the chest. I want everyone to keep their eyes shut. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more depths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Perfect. Well done. Open your eyes. Fantastic. Keep your legs grounded. So I want you to be present for this talk. So what we're going to do is go into backwards planning. So top left, your environment matters. It is so important who you surround yourself with. A lot of people might come into base and they might have a goal in mind, but they actually stay from the environment, the community that we built here. So your environment matters, and who you surround it with. You have to have a good connection and let's call it communication with your coach in order for you to help them with your goals. So think about your goals, and if you're not communicating, maybe your nutrition is off, maybe you find you're not sleeping, and we can't guess that. So it's really important that you understand communication is really important for your coach. That's the first step. Then, so accountability. How are you going to be accountable? You can be accountable to your partner, to your friends, to the people in the gym, so the 6 a.m.ers, the 7:30 p.m.s. You're accountable to these people. Tell them about your goals, what you want to achieve, and how you're going to achieve it. Then, what days are you planning? So backwards planning is something that I've done for a long period of time because you're busy. We all have very busy lives. So what I try to do is I get out my Google Calendar and start what my week is going to be like. So for example, I'm working a 9 to 5. Do I want to get up in the morning at 6 a.m. and do a training session? Okay, perfect. So the night before, I'm going to prepare my gear so I'm ready for that training session in the morning. Then I have to make sure that I'm bringing in my lunch. So my lunch, what does that look like? Am I pre-cooking for dinner and then bringing into work the next day? You have to be prepared going through this to have a good schedule for your full week. So a lot of people think that their week starts on a Monday, but actually starts on a Sunday, because you're looking at the week ahead, you're planning, you're preparing, and you can really get a lot more out of your training sessions and your goals by being prepared. So, schedule on walks. One thing I want to talk about is walks and time for yourself. So when I think about walks, I think about, geez, I never have time for that. And then I'm talking about, I'm not losing weight, and I'm struggling, I'm really, really struggling to lose weight. And I'm like, do you go for your walks? No, I can't. I can't get in my steps. Okay, can you park further away in work so you can add them steps up 5 days a week? Yes, you can. I think that's easy. So small things like that, scheduling walks, parking further away, taking the stairs instead of taking the escalator, these small things add up to your long-term goals. So Sundays, when are you doing your food shop? Hopefully on a Sunday, but some people don't work 9 to 5 on a Monday to Friday. We work shifts. So you have to make sure that you're prepared. Can you do your online food shop? Most people hopefully can these days. So trying to be prepared and trying to be as organized as possible. And when are you prepping your meals? I was just talking there a second ago to Carl about the air fryer. It saves my life. I put in my chicken, I can go up, I have a quick shower, come back down, my chicken is done, I cook my vegetables, have my rice, boom, quick meal. Happy days. So it's being prepared, being organized for your full week. So does everyone plan their week? Some parts. Okay, where would you say your downfall is in planning your week? Is it that you run out of time, or is it that you haven't prepared for the week ahead? Bit of both, yeah, because things come up, don't they? So it's really trying to acknowledge something like routine, like what's going wrong every few weeks, or find yourself motivated and then it's dipping, or you find yourself doing a certain task and you're doing, let's say, 1,000 steps, and all of a sudden it starts dipping again. And it's a routine that you're getting out of structure. There's no consistency with it, and that's the thing about us. We need consistency in order for you to lose weight, to get fitter, to get healthier, get stronger. So my advice to you, if you're seeing the same routines, start making a journal of it, so hopefully you can identify it before that habit starts to drift. One book that I highly recommend is Power of Habits. Has anyone read that book? Yeah, it's a fantastic book, actually. So it's about habit stacking, making something easy and convenient over time. So my recommendation is definitely making sure that you're trying to identify the bad habits that you can be doing and try to fix them. And communicating to your coach of, look, I know that maybe during my menstrual cycle that I'm a bit like hormonal and I'm finding myself going to the fridge, eating a little bit more. Okay, why don't we add a little bit more protein around your menstrual cycle? Small things like that can make a big change, but again, it's communication to your coach. So back to backwards planning. I use Google Calendar for planning my week. Does anyone else? No? Okay, I can swear by it. So it's actually kind of weird when you look at my Google Calendar. It's kind of full on. So I have planned what time I'm going to get up, when I'm going to have my breakfast, when I'm going to go for a walk, when am I going to do my training sessions, when am I meeting friends, when am I seeing my family. It's all planned to a T. You might say, Jesus, that's a bit OTT. But I have to be. I'm organised. I'm full-time in college, and obviously we're running a business. So you have to be organised. And the only way to move forward and get organised is by starting and taking action. And not wishing that you've done it a few weeks ago, because time will pass no matter what. So stop, reflect, and go, okay, I've maybe tried to achieve this goal before. Why didn't it work? Let's identify how it didn't work, and then maybe take some changes or say it out loud to your coach. Look, I actually have tried this before, and I've identified that this and this is kind of putting me off. Would you recommend anything? And we can guarantee you that I can recommend loads of stuff. So it's trying to identify what has gone wrong for the future. So my recommendations today for backwards planning is start off your week on a Sunday. Sit down, maybe write it down, have a Google Calendar, and map out when you're going to be in work, when you're going to be doing training, when can you do your food shop, when can you do your food prep, when can you go out for walks, when can you just sit down and relax and watch TV, read a book. So you're identifying the times that work well with you and your timetable, and then making sure that they fit and align with your goals and also your values, because it does come back to your values. Fab. Does anyone have any questions? Good. Google Calendar will save your lives, I can promise you. Yeah, and if you don't have Google Calendar and shared calendar with your partner, whatever, it'll save your lives, I promise. Fab. So Emma is going to go next. Yeah. Fabulous.
Thank you.
Good work.
Hi guys, how are we doing? Good, that's good. Okay, so what we're going to go through today is goal setting, okay? So a lot of us make goals, right, at the start of the year when January is very fresh, we're very excited for the new year, and then by about April, May, those goals are in a notebook on the other side of the room, and we're not opening them again until next January. Who can relate with that? Yeah. So last year, who set goals in January? Hands up. Okay, a few of you. Who reached those goals by the end of the year? Hands up. Two people out of all those people with the hands up. Okay, so what we're going to go through today is understanding why goals fail, okay? So why we don't reach these goals. And we're going to learn how to make goals that we can stick to and work towards, okay? Make sense? Lovely. So what we have is we have real goals and surface goals. So what a real goal is something that you're tied to with your feelings. So something that brings you a little bit of emotion when you think about it. A surface goal is just writing in a book and writing down, I want to lose 5 kgs. Okay? There's nothing else written down, that's just your goal. Okay? So when you're motivated, that's very easy. You come into the gym, everything's great, it's 1st of January, it's amazing. But then once we get to about March or April, you still have that goal in mind, it's something you want to achieve, but when you're not motivated and work is really busy, you know, you've got kids, everything like that's going on, you're not going to want to come into the gym. You're thinking of that present day. So what we want to do is figure out how to make those surface goals a real goal by just delving into your emotions a little bit more. okay? So it's becoming a little bit more attached and figuring out the why. So the why is really important as to why you want to reach that goal, okay? So it's not just, why do you want to reach it? Oh, because I want to look better. It's getting in further than that. So what we have on the next slide is a little task that I do sometimes. So it's called the 5 why method. So what that is asking yourself 3 to 5 times why you want to reach those goals, okay? So when the answer is kind of meaningful to you and you're like feeling more attached to it, that's what you want to remember. And it's good to write that down somewhere that you can actually see it each day. So maybe put it on your mirror, wallpaper, something like that. Write it out each day in a notebook just so it stays in your head. So this is an example. So someone wanted to get stronger, okay? Why do you want to get stronger? This person is saying to improve their health. But why do you want to improve your health? So it would be to feel more confident in daily life. Why would you want to do that? To stay active and independent as you age. Why? You know, to grow up with your kids, to be around your kids when they're older, be able to keep up with them and do things with them, spend more time with them. Make sense? So that's the emotional attachment. So wanting to grow with your kids and stay active. So it's like reminding yourself why you're doing it every day and have it somewhere that you can see it. It can be on your fridge, your mirror, wherever you want it. But that will just that will make you way more attached and you're more likely to stick to it if you have an attachment to the goal. The next thing is how. How do you reach the goal? This is a big thing. So Nicole kind of touched on that as well. So with this, you need to break your goal into action. So if I wanted to run an ultra marathon, that's my goal. Okay, that's a lot of Ks. I don't run. How am I going to get there? Maybe I'll start off by working towards a 5K. Okay, so how am I going to work towards that 5K? So you need to break your goals down so you can actually get to the end result. So I could start by running once a week and then slowly build it up. The next thing is keeping it really simple. So you do not want to overload yourself with way too much. So who's guilty of that? I am definitely guilty of that. So let's just say we're working 9 to 5, okay? You live out in Cove. If you're driving in here every day, that's going to be about an hour nearly of travel either way, some days. It's a busy time to be driving. So that's 2 hours extra on top of your 9 to 5 gone. You've got kids. You have to bring them to school, organize how they're going to get there. Then you also have dinners to cook. So realistically, you have this busy, busy life. So you've also said you're going to gym 5 times a week and you're going to get into running and run an ultramarathon. That's a lot, okay? So overwhelm will take in, I'd say, 2 weeks and you will be closing that copybook and putting it away. You won't be sticking to them. So what we need to do is assess your life, see where you're at, and break those goals down into smaller goals and see what fits in with your schedule. So like what Nicole was saying, I use Google Calendar as well. It is great. This is not an ad for Google Calendar today, but it is great. Book out your time for you as an appointment. So I always do that when I train or when I'm running or even a walk. When my life is getting really busy, I know that if I get out for a walk, I feel so much better. So even if it's 30 minutes, just pop it into your calendar and that's your time. Nothing can touch that. And then if someone wants to do something or someone wants to come over or you're meeting up with a friend, just say, okay, I'm busy, this time I've got an appointment. Plan around that, okay? Always plan around your time, schedule it in. And it's only an hour, it's only 30 minutes, it's not that long. So it's always just reminding yourself, like once that's over, it's done. And then, just focus on one main goal at a time. That's another big one. So who wrote more than 3 goals this year for January? One person? Lisa, Tracy, yeah. So that's normal, that's fine, that's great that you have those goals, but working on 3 goals at once can be quite tough. So pick out what's most important, focus on that first, and then once you've built up those habits, working towards those goals, and they're kind of ingrained into your head, like what Keelan said, once you have that discipline to keep it going, then we have time to move to the next goal. So it's always just keeping it simple for yourself, make sure it fits in with your life. And 1 habit a week. So I think it takes 21 days to build a habit, so that's 3 weeks. So if you're sticking to something for 3 weeks, you're more likely to keep it up after that. So that's the hardest bit, is just getting over that. And just stick to 1 a week. There's no point in changing everything. Like if you're getting up in the morning, you're like, okay, I'm going to change my life. 5 sessions, today I'm going to go for a run and train and I'm going to eat healthy. You're just going to burn out. So it's just keep it super simple. We're not here to, go into the Olympics or anything like that. It's just small little steps towards the big goal at the end, okay? And environment is really important as well. So I don't know if you guys are like me, but if I have a messy environment at home, I can't focus, I can't think. So I always have to have everything clean, but also little things. Like let's just say you wanted to eat better. Maybe remove the junk food in the house, the snacks, things that you'd be more likely to eat if they were there. Maybe move them into a different cupboard. Maybe you can treat yourself like once a month or once a week, something like that. It's little small things like that that do make a difference. So have a look at your environment. If there's anything that's like triggering you or like making you not want to come to the gym or making you want to eat more of the junk food that's around, especially after Christmas. I know everyone's got celebration boxes lying around. Little things like that. Yeah, so that is a big one as well, your environment. So yes. And then weekly planning is another big one. So again, it's just breaking everything down into why. So we have like a weekly action portion on that page that I handed out. So yeah, it's pretty much like if you wanted to build strength, that's the goal. Weekly action, how are you going to work towards that? So book in the classes, block out the time in the calendar. And then when and where. So it's like just putting that into your head, put down where you're doing it, when you're doing it, what times you're doing it, put everything that you've booked in into that calendar. The same thing with improving your eating. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy that you're writing down. It just needs to be something like add an extra bit of protein into your diet and update your shopping list. So just change things around. And then when do you want to do it? Every meal. Maybe your snacks can be something with protein in them as well, just to up that protein intake, help your recovery, everything like that. Yeah. So it's simple little things. So on those sheets I gave you, there's a portion at the top that says your goal. So if you guys want to write in your goal and then do the 5 whys after that. So ask yourself why 5 times until that feels emotional for you. The hard part. It does. It's a bit of essay writing for you. Yeah, it gets you deep down, you know. It is, isn't it? The teacher walking around their arms crossed. Yeah, teacher 18. Yeah, you look. I love it. Lovely.
3 to 5 or 5? 5.
3 to 5. Like if it feels emotional at 3, yeah. You can't ask why anymore.
It's a good book. It starts with why. Simon Sinek. Did you ever read that book?
No, I didn't. No, I should read that. Did he write Atomic Habits as well?
That's James Clear.
James Clear. Wrong person. Lovely. Have we got them written out? Yes. Brilliant. Are we all done with our whys? Brilliant. So the next bit, I suppose, is just planning for life. So you need to identify your obstacles. So I already kind of touched on that just in terms of your schedule, what you do for work. Do you have kids? How busy is your life? You know, what are their extracurricular activities? All those little things. And then take that into consideration as well when you're booking classes or like you decide to go for a run or a walk. Like if you have that traffic either side and you're going to work and coming back, realistically doing a 6 a.m. class is going to push it. You know, or getting up at 6 for a run. Are you realistically going to be doing that if you're finishing up the day with the kids and everything at about, 8:30, 9, then you have like an hour to yourself at night and then you go into bed, you're going to be exhausted. Like sleep is very important as well, especially for recovery. So, you need to look into those things as well. Try and identify when you do have that free time. And it's not about how many sessions you do a week or how many runs or anything like that. It's just trying to find that time where you can go away from everything and have that, bit of time for yourself and actually come in and train or go for your run. And then, create backup actions as well. Like little things, they build up over time. So like, let's just say at the moment you are overwhelmed with everything going on. Like 5 minutes after you finish your lunch, right? Go for a little walk outside. 5 minutes is better than nothing. And little things like that build up over the day. If you're getting up in the morning and you're short on time, but you just get outside and walk around the yard with your dog or something for like literally 10 minutes. And then you have your 5 minutes at lunch, and then in the evening, 10 minutes, that's already 25 minutes of getting outside and moving. Like little things like that as well. And body weight exercises. Like if you have 15 minutes at home to spare, like you could even just do a little circuit yourself, like, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. That's half an hour of working out at home. So little things like that can build up over time too. So just being mindful of that. And yes, steps are a big one. People are just like, you know, when you have a sit-down job, it is hard. I've been there. I had a sit-down job once, and it is brutal going home and looking at your watch when you've done under 1,000 steps for the day. Like, you've been sitting all day. Like, little things like setting an alarm, excuse me, setting an alarm to like get up every hour. That's something I did. Like a little reminder on my phone as well. Walking to the bathroom, walking back, little things like that. And I always try to get out once I've finished my food at my desk for a walk. Just walk around, listen to some music, not rushing it or anything, just a chill walk, just to move. Like little things like that do build up over time. So just being mindful of that as well. Like if you have an all or nothing attitude, it's very easy to kind of like, you know, just be like, oh, screw this, I'm not doing any of it. Like it's very easy to do that. So just be mindful, those little things do build up. And then yeah, consistency over perfection is really important as well. Like when you set all your goals and when they don't go well, if you close that copybook and throw it to the end of the room, you know, you're probably striving for that perfect outcome and it hasn't happened. So it's just being mindful of that and working towards consistency. So building up small habits each week, little bits of progression, like it's not all going to happen at once. So just be mindful you're working towards this goal. You know, that's what a goal is. It's not something that needs to change immediately. Does that make sense? Yeah? Lovely. And yeah, consistency wins. So habits shape identity. So I know that after you have a new habit taken on and you're way more disciplined, like when you guys all started here, at the start it was probably, you know, when you start in the new gym and everything like that and you haven't been training for a while and you're kind of like, oh, this is scary, can I do this? And then once you're in a routine and you're coming consistently and you're sticking to those days, you feel really good. It really gets into your mindset as well, like it's a big thing for your brain. So just being mindful of that, once you have those habits engraved into you and you're more consistent with them, you do feel better. And then yeah, small consistent actions, they lead to results, just like what we touched on. And yeah, focus on showing up, not being perfect. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's all about consistency, and perfection, get rid of that. We'll get there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, just commit to your why. So I'm doing this because, just like what we wrote down, that's probably the most important thing out of my slides today. But what we'll do is we'll head into those actions. So we'll just plan out how we're going to achieve that goal, okay? So if you've got a really big goal like an ultramarathon, let's bring it back and focus on the first step. What's the first step there? Okay, so take some time there to pop all of that into your actions. Well, yeah, I think that's my slide done. Yeah. And is there any questions? No? Brilliant. So quiet. I feel like I'm in an exam room. But yeah, breaking them down is very important, just into small little goals, so you can reach that big one. Is there anyone here who didn't set any goals this year? Yeah, just any goals at all? No? No? That's really good. I love the motivation. Brilliant. So does anyone have any questions? Anything on that? No? Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to hand you over to Nicole. Yeah, over to Nicole.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Does anyone have exciting goals, first of all, before I get into this part? This one. I don't think I need it. Well, oh, yeah. So I'm just going to go through our 12 months of community events, because I think that's important that we discuss these, because some people, planning, as I said, planning, hence why I organise. So what we're going to be planning in February is we're going to do a walk and coffee, and it's going to be called Get Your Steps Up. That's February. So we're hoping you can mark it down on your calendars. Hopefully it's going to be on the 28th, hopefully that morning, or 28th, is it? Yeah, something. We'll talk about that. We'll be putting this online anyway, social media. On March, we're going to be doing 2 events. It's International Women's Day, so it's going to be a female workshop, and then also we're going to be doing a male-only workshop. So 2 separate workshops for males and then females. That'll be a good one. In April, we're going to be working ourselves up to the personal best day. So again, we normally do this at over an 8-week block. So you're trying to gain your strength over the time. And in April, we're going to be putting the date out as personal best. Personal best, that's always a good crack. Tork Waterfall is going to be in May, so we're going to be going down to Ryan's spot, Killarney, and we're going to be doing a hike or a walk. Really, it's going to be a walk. It's going to be 2 options: go to the top of the waterfall or go the big one. There's 2 different ones, so there's going to be obviously 2 groups if we want to do that. That's in May. We'll all do a bit of it. Now, it's not too taxing. It is a walk. Yeah, it is a walk. So that'll be fun. In June, a lot of us are doing the half marathon and 10 kilometres. So if you do want a ticket for that on the June bank holiday weekend, let us know. I do have a good contact. Yeah. July, we're having our summer party. So that's always going to be a good crack. Normally we go out for drinks in the summer. And then we're going to be also doing the Brandon Bay Run, which is either a 10K at half. We had 5K as well, fantastic. We had about 30 people last week. We all came in and we go down. But hopefully if we get the same numbers, I can organise a bus. So keep the date on that one. So that's in August, is it? Yeah. No, it's in July, thank you. August, we're going to be doing a beach workout because that was highly recommended for us. We did that 2 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 years ago we did a beach workout. We went down to Kinsale, and to be fair, it was good crack, like, it was really fun. Yeah, we did a sauna, so if we're going to do that, we'll probably do beach workout and sauna, and we'll organise that. September, I always do the women's mini marathon. That's probably going to be for charity this year, so keeping that in mind. It's a 6K, men as well, but you wear a wig. Yeah. Wear a wig, you have to wear a wig. October, we're going to be doing a nutrition course, and we're calling it Build Your Basics. So that's going to be what we're going to be doing in October. November, we're going to try our November party, Christmas party in November this year, because we did it like really close to Christmas last year. So that's going to be in November. And then December, we have our personal best day again, which is also a good event. And we always do a Christmas Day, Games Day, which is our Christmas Eve workout. Normally then we give out the awards for that year. So we always give the awards out. And the awards are based off obviously performance and what people are doing. So you have 12 months to prove yourself. So yeah, it's always good to get yourself involved in these community events. Try something new. You're obviously meeting new people. I think the Tork Waterfall is something that people had asked us to do for a long time. So we are going to be doing that one, and it's only down the road. We'll all stay in Ryan's house. Does anyone have any questions? Perfect. Anyone any questions about the goal setting? Fab, you're all on it, okay? So what I want you to do on your True Coach account, whatever goal you have down, I want you to message your coach. I want you to communicate to your coach what you want and how we're going to get there. For our coaches then, we're going to obviously sit down as a team. As you know, we do an hour CPD training every single Wednesday and talk about you. So we talk about your goals, how we're going to get you there, if there's any injuries that we're not aware of, anything coming up. So just give us, the more detail you give us, the better we can plan. So make sure you're messaging your coach. And yeah, that's it, guys. That was fun. Give yourself a round of applause. Excellent. So stay there. We're going to get one quick photo, and then we're done. Yeah. Use social media. I know.